I have a story for you guys. I'm sure you're gonna like it. Follow along as I read aloud. So when I was around 6, every time I had to get in the bath, my mom would tell me to go wash my ass. So one day I was wondering what the fuck did she meant by wash my ass? Like, did she mean the cheeks or the inside? So I decided to wash my whole fucking ass, which unfortunately included the inside. The rag was all rough and shit, so I decided that I would just use a soap. Just little did 6-year-old me know that shit can get stuck up there. So I put half of the bar up there and it kinda burned, but I kept going even though I sure the fuck wasn't used to having anything in my ass, so that was a problem. So eventually I got the whole bar up my ass and twisted it around to clean it, right? So the problem here was soap is slippery as shit. So when I took my fingers and tried to get it out, my fingers slipped right off the edge of the soap that I could actually touch. So I tried to push it out like shit, to no avail. So I started to panic. So I ran to my mom, screaming and crying about soap in my booty hole, right? She just looks at me with disappointment in her eyes and just sighs and bends me over and takes the tweezers and tries to grab the soap, but the tweezers slip off the soap. So my dad looks at my mom and tells her we have to go to the emergency room. So I have to lay in the back seat because my asshole was burning and I couldn't sit, and we got there and I was in tears. A bitch was screaming and everything. I couldn't even sit in the emergency room. So fucking finally I get into a room and the nurse examines my ass and looks at my mom with eyebrows raised and says, "I'll go get a doctor." Long story short, I had to get my asshole stretched with pliers, flushed out to shrink the soap a bit, and they had to surgically remove the soap. The end. So I only have one question about this story. What the fuck is going on in that house? Don't worry, this video is gonna get demonetized anyway because I've been cursing too much already, so don't worry about me. The money's gonna come in anyway. The problem I have is a whole bar of soap. Was the soap new? Was it a fresh bar? Fresh out the box? Was it a soap that's been used a couple times already? The whole bar? Do y'all understand how big a bar of soap is? It has length to it. Girth. It was not an easy feat to shove that whole thing in there. I know it wasn't easy. It couldn't have been easy to do. At some point you gotta think, like, this doesn't feel right. This hurts. It burns. I should probably stop. Maybe that's a normal trainer. Maybe that's not as normal as you think it is. No one thinks like that apparently. Clearly. Just imagine how his mom felt having to explain that to his dad and the doctor when they got there. I would have been embarrassed. Probably didn't want to tell him. Like, you know what, son? You might have to just go through this one by yourself. But you know what? I'm gonna be a good parent anyway. Definitely a lot of disappointment going around in that room, believe me. Huge elephant. Huge bar of soap too. Fact. So I wonder how long the whole ordeal took to get, like, to a conclusion. To a solution, if you will. You know, from the insertion of the soap to the removal surgically of the soap. I bet you that whole process is about a good hour and a half, 2 hours. Driving to the hospital, getting to a doctor that actually wanted to take this case, realizing how ridiculous it was, you know. I'm sure it was a lengthy process. Can you imagine your booty hole burning for 2 to 3 hours? I can't. Nor do I want to. That story's crazy. Stupid even. Mostly crazy. That's almost as crazy as saying that Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant aren't as good as LeBron James. LeBron James is the best player of all time, you know? It's like saying something crazy like that, you know?
LeBron James, the greatest player ever?
Ever.
What about Michael and Kobe? So you just gonna pass Kobe up like that?
I'm gonna pass Kobe up. I'm gonna look at Michael. Kobe Bryant couldn't fill, or Michael Jordan fill LeBron's shoes. The impact that he's had with different teammates, different organizations.
Would you be mad at me if I just walked off the show?
You can't leave.
Are you serious right now? This can't be planet Earth. I must have made a pit stop somewhere else. Really? You can't get swept in the finals twice. Your team can't get swept in the finals twice. And you can sit up there with a straight face and say you're the greatest player.
I'm gonna say one thing to you, and Max. I don't know the numbers like you do. Michael Jordan is what in the finals? 6 and what?
Oh.
And what is LeBron in the finals? That's all I gotta say.
Shaq, how many game
did-
sevens did MJ go to? Zero.
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 I'm just saying.
First and foremost, who is this dude? I've never seen him before in my life. Who is he? ESPN just hire anybody, I guess. Maybe I should submit my application today, because at least I have something to talk about that actually matters. Or not only do we not know or care who this dude is, mostly the caring part, they just let him just walk in there and just say whatever he want. Like, it's like that now? That's how we get ratings now? Just saying random stuff that doesn't make sense? I'm disappointed.
Look,
How many times did MJ see the Warriors though? Oh,
Stop it.
Shaq.
he's gonna beat the Warriors?
Hold
He's
on.
gonna beat
Shaq,
KD,
when Jordan
Steph,
retired,
Clay?
when Jordan
Yes.
retired,
No!
Yes.
They would run laps around that Bulls team, yo. Are you kidding me?
Okay, another question. What era are we playing in? We playing in the big boy era where you can knock people on their ass, or we playing in this little cupcake era now
I think they-
where you can't touch people?
These, I think
Give
they
me an
win.
era.
I think they win in both eras.
Will you stop it?
Oh, hold on. Is Clay not tough? Clay couldn't play back then?
Whoever's paying him to say all this stuff, I will pay you
Shaq,
double to stop it.
Hold
Will you-
on.
Michael Jordan, 6 championships. Kobe Bryant, 5 championships. LeBron James, 3 championships. The other times he went to the finals, got swept or lost to another team. But he's the greatest of all time? What type of mathematics are we doing here? Because maybe something's not adding up. Then you would think this random bum would at least listen to Shaq. Shaq has literally played with or against all 3 of these dudes at some point or another. You would think he'd be like, you know what? Maybe Shaq knows him a little more than me. You would think, but people don't think nowadays. That's the problem with America. That's the problem with the world. People don't think. They just speak. And people that can speak like that need to get taken off the air, never called again. Cause it's blasphemous. If Stephen A. Smith was there, he'd have said blasphemous. It's outright astounding that he would say something that crazy. You know what he is? He's a criminal. He's very incriminating to me. Lock him up. Throw away the key. Forget about it. It's over. So, I stopped making this video for like 10 minutes to go apply to ESPN. I'm hoping to receive a call back within the next 2 or 3 days for a in-person interview, because they clearly just hire anybody that submit applications. So I'll let you guys know how it goes. I hope you have a great day.